Guys, Yawa don gas. Sanwo-Olu has exposed a very damning report against the Southwesterners. And also in my second news, we have seen that Northerners, most especially the professor of Borno, has cried out that there are informants in the government that are working with this bandit. Please, I would like you to wait with me to the end. It's going to be brief, you know. Now, going on. So the idea that the Igbos are the one destroying Lagos State, polluting, committing criminalities, has just been debunked by the rightful person, and who is no other than Sanwo-Olu. As you can see on my screen there, it says that people from Ogun, people from Oyo are the ones committing crimes. They are the ones that are going to shop burgling. They are the ones that go to kidnap people from their houses. This is a damning report, and right now I'm so hungry because I am a Yoruba person, and my state, fortunately, was mentioned by Sanwo-Olu. You see, to my surprise, he actually exonerated the Igbos. He said he has his figures, he has his fact that these guys are lynches, that they are not doing anything to actually develop their state, which is Oyo, Ogun, but what they do basically is they come to Lagos, Lagos that is been developed by every other Nigeria, and they will be defending the Lagos. They'll be claiming that Lagos is the right of every Yoruba person to defend. You know, this I've never seen how they push somebody under the bus by a governor, and to even make it beautiful, a Yoruba governor has said this. Just in case you did not know, some days ago there was a campaign about who are the people, messing up Lagos State. And why? Because a young guy, Scott Igoma, he came out and he made a video in a podcast. He said that Lagos properties are exceedingly expensive, that you literally need to be a politician who is looting or a Yahoo boy before you can even afford two-bedroom flat now, because two-bedroom flat now is going for the price of 2 million. In some places they can go as high as 4 million. Like, this is very, very disgusting. That Lagos that has no running backbone water, Lagos at any small rain, when it falls, everywhere will be flooded. Some people, and this is my experience, one lady who packed into a house around Ogba, she just moved in shortly, like 2 months. I think she moved in that house by March, and the rain that just fell recently, about 3 days ago, literally filled our parlor. And this is a nursing mother. So the idea that some Yoruba rascals will come out and be defending what is not. They come out and be saying, Lagos, leave our Lagos if you feel it's not dirty, if you feel it's not clean, leave our Lagos and go back. Now, someone who has said this nonsense against us, what would be the response and reactions? Of course, I think it is expected. The Igbos have been celebrating all day that Sanwo-Olu, Sanwo-Olu been bribed? Like, has Sanwo-Olu been bribed by this obedient or Igbos for him to come out and say this? I don't think so. What could be the benefit that Sanwo-Olu is looking for him to come out and release this damning report against the Yorubas who are from Oyo, Osun, Ogun State? What could be his benefit? I think Sanwo-Olu is a man who thinks this is my last tenure, and I will not hide anything under my tongue. I will spill the way it is. I mean, this report, Sanwo-Olu could have just decided not to release it. He could have just kept it under his or in his chest pocket. Like, no, these are my people. But what we must know is Lagos does not necessarily belongs to the Yorubas. Lagos belongs to our warriors, belongs to the Saros, it belongs to some part of people who migrated, who are now in Egbeda, Kotu, Solo. So the idea that at every slight opportunity we go against the Igbos. I mean, I have never seen such an embarrassing report. I have never. For someone to think that, man, I've had enough, I need to spew this out. That means these Oyo citizens that flock into Lagos, Osun State, Ogun State, that means they've been doing this far too many times, because it just can't be one off and someone will report it. I think it has happened over and over and over again, and he just couldn't bear it, and now he has started to shame his fellow Yoruba states. And it's embarrassing. I just couldn't believe it. Like I just couldn't believe it. We know we know how there's these serious allegations against the Igbos that whenever the Igbos come from their dirty region, Aba, they mentioned some parts of Ebonyi that the only place they come in is Lagos State because they know this prosperity. And then I'll be seeing some people who are not Lagosians boasting with it. Please, can we put the rightful energy in our state? When we were talking about regionalism, right? Lagosians said they will not be a part of Southwest. Indeed, they said it. That was when it dawned on me that the Yorubas must understand that Lagos is not the pride of Yoruba people. The true pride of the Yoruba people, which has been abandoned for many years, is Oyo State, which is Ibadan. Right? Because a common Lagosian will tell you, my state is a microcosm of Nigeria. My state is a metropolis. My state, as a Lagos, we welcome every manner of investment from anybody across the country. This is what Lagosians will tell you. Right? Yet, we keep shooting ourselves in the leg, all in the name of tribe. I am not in any way denying the fact that I'm a Yoruba person, and I'm not trying to seek for engagement or whatever. I'm only here to pour out my grievances against the Yoruba political leaders. Listen, the Yorubas, the Southwest region was at a point in time one of the fastest growing region in Nigeria. Today, yes, we can argue that it's still the best. But the rate at which the Nigerian Western region was developing in the mid 50s into 60s when it was being, you know, piloted by Awolowo, that has not been the case anymore. What we have today is every tout, every talk. If you go to the Lagos street today, every talk, every tout in out of 10, 8 will be a Yoruba boy. 8 will be a Yoruba boy. When this thing happened, when I experienced it, because I went to street to conduct field survey myself. I did a content in the past. I said, if care is not taken, if our youth are not urgently asked and maybe forced to retrace the steps that bring true pride, to a region or to people, Yorubas might unfortunately be subservient to the Igbos and in fact to the Hausas. Because as we are in the Southwest today, what we have is the greatest mistake having Tinubu to become our political godfather. A political figure like Tinubu shouldn't have been the situation. A Tinubu, under his leadership since 1999, has done nothing but encourage industrialization of agberoism. Tinubu has not taken his time to use the very large amount of money that he has, wherever he got them from, I don't know, and I don't wish to know, to encourage industrialization, to encourage artisanship. Tinubu, I don't think he has ever built an industrial hub or in a company. Let me say, if it doesn't bring an industrial hub or industrial building, what about vocational training schools? What have we seen Tinubu do? Nothing, absolute nothing. The only thing we hear him do is he will sponsor elections, right? There was a time all the Southwest was under the lock and key of Tinubu. Even to this very day, I think the Southwest is still under the lock and key of Tinubu. He was the one that influenced Ekiti. He was this guy who is there today, the current governor, BOA. It was Tinubu that supported him and influenced the election. The issue of Ondo, we know what happened. The issue of Ogun State, we know how Tinubu supported Dakpo to become the governor. All these things, and then we know how he has literally captured Lagos for many years, that everybody that comes forth must do the bidding and the wishes of a Tinubu in Nigeria. Otherwise, in fact, the last person that tried it never lived to tell the story in his political career. The guy was literally benched, and he might never have a chance to participate in the Lagos politics or even at the federal level for even an appointment. Why? Because he dared question Tinubu's powers and excesses. My question to the Ronu gangs and whoever they support is, now that a Sanwo-Olu has expressed his feelings, that it is not even the Igbos that are dirtying Lagos. He said it. He said it is my brothers from my neighbors, Oyo Ogun. They are the one turning Lagos into a shit hole. Omo, this thing no be serious, no be joking matter. Oh. This thing has taken away the bragging right of any Yoruba rascal. Anybody who calls himself a Yoruba bigot that doesn't want to be tolerant with other people who are coming to Lagos, at every slighted chance that they have, they will just push the blame on the Igbos, push the blame on people who are from other states, provided they're not Yoruba. I think it, someone who has actually burst that bubble. So what next? What next? What next? In fact, I think we are in the era whereby the Igbos are regaining their dignity. I swear to God. Shortly before I made this program, Ishowore was exposed. Now again, we are being told that even in that Lagos that all Yorubas lay claims to as the pride of the Western region, Sanwo-Olu came out to expose that it is the Oyo people that are destroying Lagos. You know the story we've always known, it's the Igbos. But right now, Sanwo-Olu is doing this. Why is Sanwo-Olu playing to the Gary? Or is Sanwo-Olu seeking the sentiment of the Igbos? Why? Nobody knows. But I think Sanwo-Olu is only trying to be objective. Yeah. Because I know if Sanwo-Olu could have rigged the information, the data that was presented to him, I am sure he would have rigged it. Perhaps he was caught unawares in that press briefing when they asked him, who are the people destroying Lagos? They are not necessarily bringing development. What they are bringing is destruction. And without flinching, without hesitating, Sanwo-Olu said, it is my brothers from who are my neighbors, the Oyo people. It is a damning shame. And right now, I'm so ashamed. Not because I do not believe what Sanwo-Olu said, but I am ashamed that my state that has a capacity to be the finest in Western region is producing refugees who are running to Lagos State. And when they get to Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu is telling us that they don't even add to the development. It's crazy. You know, they say human lie, men lie, but hard data don't lie. It's crazy. It's totally crazy. And I think the Igbos should enjoy the ride. You know, at the moment, everything seems to be working for them, falling in line places. Perhaps Peter Obi could win his election by 2027 because now that the Ariwas have rallied around him, it is surprising that Professor Zulum cries, is in tears, serious tears, that there are saboteurs in this Tinubu regime that are selling information to the bandit for a price. That right now Borno is not in any state of peace. The Mate barracks have been taken over, and these guys, these bandits, are not even undeterred. They're not deterred. They're just there chilling, sipping their aboki shayi. And yes, the next NSA can't speak anything about that. They cannot charge the Nigerian armies to go and flush them out. Professor Zulum is actually saying this. You know, that means this in this situation, water don't pass Gary. But I've always said it that yes, as a human being, I will feel for those that get kidnapped and in some cases even get shot. But you see those northern leaders, whatever their youth, their economy, their society is going through right now, they are the planters, the drafters, the designer, and the what implementers of those atrocities. Because this very same northern elite at one point went against a president who was ready to go all out just to ensure that peace is restored in the north. So a Zulum, I believe he knows so much. I believe there are some information that are privy, top notch, or classified. I think Zulum should begin to name those that are in the government of Tinubu that, as he has acclaimed, to be sponsoring this bandit and territory. I mean, he needs to do that because just coming online wailing and telling us that, there are people. Listen, we have always known. We have always known that it is because the Northerners allow this terrorism to fester. That is why it grew up to this level. We have always known that. So what Zulum is saying is not new. What we want is we dare him to begin to give us names. If you're so sure that there are people in the administration, Mahoga, give us their names, because we can no longer be acting in hypocrisy, in denial that there are not people in this thing. I mean, there was a time current governor of Zamfara, alleged that the Metawali of the then governor of Zamfara was in bed with the bandits. I mean, this was the words of the Dawda Lawal or so, the current governor. So it is crazy. It's crazy. And like I used to say, the revolution that we have always wanted for will erupt from the north, not in the south.